So I got spun off, and that meant I got to work on everything else. Now I'm talking about F-14, F-15. I'm talking about military aircraft. There was none of this commercial stuff. Boeing commercial was an entirely different world away from me. So I'm building all these fighter aircraft and the bombs, the JDAM, all this kind of stuff. I was still doing crazy stuff. Ordnance. I love blowing stuff up. It's awesome. But another thing that Boeing did for me was one year I decided to bring my sons out to California. So I took Eric and George out to California, and I guess I worked. I flew up and I went to work for 2 days, and I took the rest of the week off, and I was going to show them around California. And my boss says to me, he says, "What are you going to do with your kids today?" And I says, "Oh, I was going to take them out to Catalina Island." He says, "Man," he says, "don't waste your time with that. Take them out to the space shuttle." I says, "How do I do that?" He says, "You get your kids there." He says, "I'll take care of that." So here they gave me a clearance. I had to get there after 3 o'clock when the shift went home. But then here I am with my sons out in Palmdale, where they refurbished the shelters. And here's my 2 guys and me in the shuttle. Just you can. They had a line painted around it about that far away from it, and you could walk up to that line, but you could not touch the shuttle. You could look in the windows, you could do whatever you wanted to do, but you couldn't touch it. And we had as long as we wanted to spend with the shuttle. It was awesome. So you talk about being bigger than life with your kids. I mean, they gave me so many opportunities. I mean, you do a good job, and they give you these attaboys like that. It was their idea, and it was awesome. I had grown into this position. Seeing them, I mean, they wouldn't say anything. My kids were like, they were scared because this thing was so, beyond their imagination that here we are with this thing. And then unfortunately the thing was blown up, it blew up later on when it was on reentry. It was Columbia we were with. We also had a trip where we were down at the Cape. We were down there for orientation for over a week. And I brought George and Eric with me. And I was able to bring them into Cape Canaveral for a few days and show them around and, all the components that were being built and missiles being put together and stuff like that. So I was always able to pull a rabbit out of a hat so that they would know what the capabilities are, what the opportunities they had that they could do, if they just apply themselves a little bit. Right. It was all, and you never realized that NASA is or Cape Canaveral is a game preserve. You don't walk in that, you don't go anywhere on the Cape by yourself or outside of a vehicle. There's alligators and cats and, man, there's all kinds of stuff out there. You stay within the designated areas, you may disappear. We're taking a bus into the launch area, and the guy on the bus, he was a tour bus, he showed us all the different sites and stuff like that. He stops the bus by this creek and he goes out and he bangs on the side of this bus, and this big crocodile comes out and he throws a chicken at the damn crocodile. I mean, they're all over the place. Any place you see water in Florida, you better figure there's a croc in there.